I'm a first-generation Latina. My parents come from the Dominican Republic, and my mother had an 8th grade education. So my parents understood the value of really pushing their kids to take advantage of the education system here in the United States. It's something that was the most important part of our lives growing up. It didn't matter what was happening, but education was tantamount to the work that my parents wanted us to do. I was not planning to be a teacher. I was going to law school. That was the goal. And I taught, and my life changed. When I saw those kids, they lit up. The excitement that I felt, the power that I felt that I had to change their lives, that was it. Never went to law school. Became a teacher and been doing it ever since. The passion that I felt in the classroom, I wanted to bring to different areas of education. So there was a level of frustration in the classroom because there were policies that were being made without really knowing what was happening in the classroom or taking into account what was happening in the classroom. So I decided that I was going to bring that drive to create change at a different level. Even though I was never going to be a teacher, this is my life's calling and work. My grandmother was a teacher in a small town in the Dominican Republic. She was then the principal. It's a one-room schoolhouse. Pero mi abuela era una mujer fuerte que pensaba en los niños todo el tiempo. And that's something that I have within me. It's always about the children. It can only be about the children. And a sense of justice. She worked with very poor children that didn't have the opportunity, if it were not for her, to get a good education. So that's what I believe in. I believe in equity for all our kids. Tiene que ser igual. So special education has a special place in my heart, and we know how challenging it can be nationwide. Most of the programs are not where we want them to be, but I was blessed with a son who's on the autism spectrum. So it's not just a professional commitment, it's a personal commitment. And when my son was first diagnosed, it's a very painful process for a parent. So I have made it part of my life's work to ensure that any parent whose child is diagnosed with any type of differently abled category, that there can be a program where their child will shine and flourish. I'm very committed to bilingual education. I only speak to my children in Spanish. My husband speaks to them in English. So when my son was diagnosed, we were told not to speak to him in Spanish. We stood firm. And when he went to school, they told us that he could not be in a bilingual program because he was autistic. So that can't happen. So I started the first autism inclusion dual language program in the nation. So looking at where we are in education today and looking at the diversity that is needed to really make system changes is something that we need to focus in as a nation. And looking at our kids as solutions and not as the problem. I many times hear principals or superintendents say, well, if I didn't have this type of child in my system, I would be doing great. And my response to that is, you do have that child, so let's make sure that your system is great, because it's supposed to be great for all kids. I have a friend whose child is zoned to a school where the kids are reading at 13%. Our job is not done until parents don't have to make those difficult choices, where parents don't have to travel for an hour so their child can go to a school that is not failing. That's the work that we do, and that's what drives me every day.